If you are like me, you probably have played through Elden Ring a handful of times. Maybe even more than a handful. Maybe like 100 or more times. It's a good game, okay? But Elden Ring is a big game, filled with a bunch of stuff that you don't need, or areas that just take too long to get to. So, as stated in the title, I will be going over some speedrun tricks that anyone can do, because if I can do it, anyone can. These will save you time on replays, or just have you feeling cool. With each trick, I will give them a difficulty of easy, medium, or hard. So if you try these for yourselves, you know which ones to not feel bad about. Without further ado, let's start with our first trick, located in the north of Limgrave, closest to Stormhill Shack. When rushing to Liurnia, you usually have to take this bridge over to this pathway, but you can skip this pathway. Yes, this is not a huge skip, but something to dip your toes in. Make your way over to this ledge, and with well-timed jumps, you can simply jump across. Pretty simple, try it out, have some fun. Keep up the speed rushing into Liurnia. The next trick I will be showing you is how to fight Redon early, which will be especially useful when trying to rush to the DLC. Usually you have to make your way to Altus Plateau, by either collecting the medallions for the lift, or making your way through the crevice, and fighting the magma worm. Both of these can take a long time. So, if you make your way to the Church of the Plague, where Millicent is found, and make your way over to this ledge, you can fall into the arena with some precise jumping. Jump off the ledge at just the last moment, and as soon as you see the camera switch to the downward angle, jump again, trying to get as far away from the cliff as possible. If done correctly, you will fall all the way down into the arena, and be able to respawn at the Stake of Marika to go enter the fight. Again, pretty simple, but might take a few tries at first. This next trick is one of the hardest ones on the list. It is a trick that skips the pesky rundown into the city of Leyndell. After the entrance to the city, you can actually jump down off the ledge with some very precise movement. Run towards the edge, and on the last area you are able to stand on, jump and flick your joystick in this direction, back into the wall. If done correctly, you will fall onto this ledge. On this attempt, I quit out before falling to my death. That's another trick that you can do to save you a couple of deaths, and it actually counted as my character standing on the ledge. After that, simply jump on this building and onto the ground. This trick can take a long time and can also be pretty frustrating, so don't beat yourself up if it's not working for you. It is one of the harder tricks to do. The next skip also takes place in Leyndell, this time in the sewers. Usually, to get to Moog, you have to go through the maze-like sewer tubes and deal with a bunch of baloney. So what if I told you there's a way to avoid all that? Because there is. When you progress to this part of the sewers, the staircase leading down, get yourself into this window, and if you notice, you can see the lift to the Moog battle. Yes, we're gonna jump there. On the lower window, sprint towards the wall, and jump around the corner, slightly turning your joystick into the wall, aiming for the lift. If done correctly, you will land on the edge of the lift, or on a ledge near it, and be able to jump in and make your way down. If you miss it, make sure to quit out quickly, and it will respawn you in the window with no death. This one may also take a couple tries, but I'm sure you can get it. Now, we head up to the Mountains of the Giant, where we are going to use a secret way to infiltrate Castle Sol, instead of dealing with all the annoying phantoms. From the Snow Valley Ruins overlook, site of Grace, make your way a little north, to this edge. Our target is that tree. No, not the white one with branches. There is another, more opaque tree trunk in the same spot. That is what we are aiming for. While on Torrent, jump off the edge, and similar to the Redon skip, at the maximum length of Torrent's jump, jump again, aiming for the phantom tree. After you land, jump onto the edge of this part of the castle, and it has to be the edge, I promise. For some reason, the extra inch of landing inside this tower will sometimes kill you. So land on the edge. If done correctly, you will live and be able to go straight into the Nile fight without dealing with any stupid teleporting ghosts. Our final trick of the day is found at the Halig Tree, specifically the Halig Tree town site of Grace. When you get here, usually you have to run through all of the enemies, ants, misbegotten, crystallines, and many more things. But it is possible to skip this. If you lure this misbegotten over to the edge where the lift comes up, you can parry him. And if you position yourself perfectly to where you are off the edge, but press the attack button to get the critical attack, you can fall all the way down to the lift without taking any fall damage. Boom, Halig Tree skipped. But getting the misbegotten in the correct spot, using the correct moves, and not just jumping off the edge, is hard. Many things can go wrong for this trick. It is very inconsistent, which definitely makes it as hard as it is. But it's definitely one of the cooler tricks to pull off. There's actually one more trick that I know of, but not even I can get it down. It may have been patched, but I don't think so. I saw a speedrunner do it recently, but I could be wrong. In the liturgical town of Ordina, usually you have to go through the Everjowl with all the overpowered archers and stupid invisible assassins. But you can potentially jump around the gate blocking the teleporter. by standing on this point of the railing and jumping with Torrent like this. There's an invisible wall blocking you from doing this, but you can jump over the invisible wall if done correctly. The goal is to first jump Torrent in this direction and then pull back northwest to land on the edge. As I said, I cannot ever get this for the life of me, but I know it's possible, or at least it was at one point. This is definitely the hardest trick to do, in my opinion at least. And if you can do that, hats off to you. With that, your playthroughs should be that much faster. I'm sure there are other speedrun tricks that I didn't include or don't know of, and I'm sure there are skips that will be found in the DLC, so leave a comment down below about skips you would want me to cover in another video. And be sure to like if you enjoyed, and subscribe so you don't miss a part 2 if I make one. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. BroDZ out.